Hello friends, how are you today? Welcome back to more trading signals for cryptocurrencies. Today is the 18th of February. Basically, we're going to see that the market has reached, at least in the case of Solana, the low that I was expecting to actually take some profits. If you remember in my last videos, I told you that I was shorting Solana from this position. It was a very nice short, basically almost a full entire position, so double my money in a matter of maybe 2 or 3 days at most, something like this. And you can see that from here, these levels are actually very close to what my indicator was actually printing. So remember, I use the indicator especially on 1 hour, and what I do is I usually try to find the critical points. For example, these two levels are the result of this operation. If we go to the lowest position of the 12th of February with replay and we use the indicator, we're going to see these levels were printed. So again, it was only a matter of waiting and find with patience to see how the price reacts to these levels. So this was the first level. It kind of broke through. And because of that, I was expecting a little bit higher because the resistance was around this level, the highest point in previous days. So I was trying to wait for this level, and eventually we got something very, very close to touching this
Yeah,
area, as you
boy.
can see. And that was
Yeah,
enough
boy.
confirmation for me to actually place the short because higher levels than this are unlikely, especially because markets do have some reaction. Okay, they cannot go up forever and like for 5, 6 consecutive days. That doesn't happen
Yeah,
very often. It's
boy.
actually extremely rare. So from this position, I shorted, and as you can see, these are the levels that the indicator was printing. And as you can see, one very close. This was not the level that I was really looking for. I was maybe looking for something lower, something like this. And if we actually take a look and see play, we're going to see that the price eventually does this. Okay, it reaches this first level. It has a kind of a strong reaction, in my opinion, very slightly. The price goes up, but I knew this was not the lowest position because I was expecting something more. My predictions were telling me around the 18 or 19 we could see a strong correction. Today is the 18, of course, so that's actually what we got for today. As you can see, it was a strong correction. Look at this. The entire day was in red. And where the lowest position is actually very, very close to this box. So in my opinion, this is extremely accurate, and this was around the position where I exit the trade. The same can be said about Ethereum. For example, you see these levels were printed again. Okay, I'm doing this because some people have basically emailed me about they are very interested on the indicator and they want to see how it works or how I use it. So I always tell you these guys. I mean, in every single video I use the indicator. But yeah, I don't really have any problem to show you again how it works. So again, like I told you, just like I did with Solana, I go at the lowest point of a single day, especially critical points. In this case, these two lows are perfect. So I'm going with this replay around this area again. You will see again back to Solana, the same level, the same indicator. Okay, extremely powerful, extremely accurate. So going with Ethereum, you can see that on Ethereum we only have this level and another higher, which is around this. This could make a stronger, possibly the kind of a breakthrough of this resistance. So this level was extremely unlikely. In my case, I was only targeting and expecting the price to react around this area. So we played this chart and we're going to see the price reacts very, very smoothly to this level. As you can see, this is where it ups. And any position around this area, any position, if you go short, it's actually very profitable. Unless you have something really insane like, I don't know, 100% leverage or something like that, you could get liquidated with some levels like this, with some price swings like this. but it's not advisable. At least that's not what I actually tell people to do. I mean, to short or long with such an extremely large amount of leverage, it's fool's play, man. That's basically just a gamble. It's not even trading at all. So again, as you can see from this high position, we get these two levels. I didn't really bother with this one because this was extremely small and very, very short compared to the actual profits return that I will be expecting to get from making these trades. So again, as you can see, the price goes and reacts to these levels. Okay, and we close the replay and look at this. These levels are extremely powerful, extremely accurate. Okay, again, longing from any level like this is not going to get you liquidated with this amount of difference in price. Okay, if we actually try to measure this, we're going to see it's only about less than 1.5%. So yeah, not even enough to actually hit or trigger a stop loss. And again, all you have to do is be patient. I mean, you see how it tests this low, maybe wait for another confirmation, and eventually you'll get this around this level. Okay, because the other alternative was to wait for this lower position, which could technically be counted because it's not extremely far away from this from the lowest points, as you can see. But yeah, in any case, the levels the indicator does it, basically fulfills the objectives of what I designed this for. Okay, this was precisely the thing that I wanted to create. Okay, a tool that basically will predict the price, so you can basically only wait for the price to react to these areas and then make your own move. That's basically the whole purpose of creating the indicator. And to my knowledge, there is not a single tool like this. I mean, you have other tools that basically help you to spot resistance or supports, but they don't predict anything. Okay, my indicator predicts. All you have to do is place the indicator in any key area in the highest or lowest position of days or weeks, and then you get some levels that you need to watch out for. So that's what we can see for Ethereum. Now let's take a look at the 10-hour time frame. So kind of choppy again. This whole structure is going to be a range. If I remember correctly, I already talked about this in previous charts because again, if we go to the previous cycle, we're going to see the same structure. Okay, some people really think that uh, this is something not real or that I'm making stuff up. Especially the people who think for some reason that we are we're not the 4 year cycles are not valid anymore or whatever. I don't know where they get their information from, where that theory came from, but it's completely wrong, man. I mean, I have seen analysts saying that the 4 year cycle is not a thing anymore, and every single one of those analysts, they lost money or they made their followers lose a lot of money. So not a single one of them was right. Not a single good call from those people in the entire cycle so far. And look at this. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is the structure that we are basically in. So if I were to say we're somewhere around halfway through this, so we're going to see another pump and possibly the final pump before the final days of February, which are going to be extremely bad and possibly a very strong correction again, reaching the low, possibly even a little bit lower than this. Then another chop structure, okay, full range for weeks, days, and around the end of the next month, which will be May, we're going to see another correction. And this is where the bottom, the true bottom, could be found. Okay, some coins might take a little bit more time. Others will maybe get ahead in time for maybe one
Yeah,
week
boy.
or maybe a full month in advance. But that's actually where we can expect the bottom, in my opinion. Again,
Yeah, boy.
because again, this is the exact same structure. So from here, we're going to go up a little bit, possibly around these resistance zones, and from here, another correction. And we'll take a look at this. We're going to see that the indicator on 10 hours on Ethereum is printing this potential support zone around this area, which is very, very close to this lowest position. Okay, you remember the last snapshot of the previous cycle, so it's very, very similar. If we go to Solana, we're going to see something like that also. Okay, Solana prints on the 10-hour time frame. The indicator is printing a potential support around this area, $70 for Solana. Okay, and this works for every single coin. Okay, you can see AVAX. AVAX also has its own areas. Now, what I usually do if for example, this is very far, in my opinion, from from the other levels compared to the other coins. But all I have to do is wait for Solana to confirm the position, basically, and confirm the range that the indicator is printing in order to actually get the same results. So you can basically do trading with multiple coins, different coins, as long as they don't differ much from each other. You'll get extremely good results. Again, this box right
Yeah,
here
boy.
corresponds to this position right there on the lowest position of that day, the 12th of February. As you can see, that was the case. These boxes, these zones are very, very small in terms of profits, in terms of difference. So we went to wait for something more, especially something
Yeah,
more
boy.
aligned to this resistance area. And again, that's
Yeah,
actually what we
boy.
need to do. Okay, we let the price go. We are patient. We don't really do things in a hurry. We wait for the confirmation. We wait for the price to reach this area. You can add a price, any, I don't, well, you can add any price alert to your charts. They're free, at least if you're using the free trading view account. You don't even have to pay for one of their plans, but you can use that for free. Place um place one of these alerts around these levels, and when it hits, you'll get the confirmation, basically.
Yeah,
And again, look
boy.
at this. If we take a look at this, we get the indicator right there. We draw our zones so we don't forget about these areas. Again, not gonna bother with this one because this is very small. Remember, we are ideally going for good targets, okay, for good taking profit levels. Okay, we don't want to risk a lot of money for only like 10 or 20% profit. Okay, we are good traders in this case. And what you do, okay, you place your areas, you let the price react, you are just patient with this, and eventually, if you're patient enough, the price will reach your area, as you can see. There it goes. Now, in the case this doesn't go well, we only need to wait a little bit lower. But that's why I always use, and why it's always advisable to do, to have your own stop loss. Okay, it's up to you to measure the stop loss to what percentage you want to basically get out of the position if it goes wrong. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I hope this another display of the amazing power of the indicator clears some things, especially for those of you who are very interested in this indicator and how it works. If you have any doubts or if you want to acquire the indicators, all you have to do is write in the comments. I mean, via email. I always forget. It's always via email. Okay, don't ever request that in the comments. I only answer via email. So look in the description box. There's the email address. Write me an email. I'll send you all of the information you need to know. Take care. Okay. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time.